place to be. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am 12 Kyle. Man, check this out. On this episode, we are going to talk about a list. Now, if you've been following me, you've been following my podcast from time to time, me and my man Eclectic, we will talk about lists. Well, here recently, at the time of this recording, there was a list put out by our good friends, at the site, let me get their name correct, Beats, Rhymes, and Lists. Sound familiar, right? And what they did was they compiled the top 100 greatest rap verses, of all time. Well, I'm not going to go down and break down 100 verses. So I said, let's do 50. And of course, I got to have my man on here. We're going to talk hip hop. Ladies and gentlemen, Eclectic is back in the building. E, what up, man?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to talk hip hop. I have no idea what is going on with this list, but I'm sure that that you, the listener, you, the host, is going to guide all of us through this. And Jesus Christ, go ahead.
I know. So, yeah, man. So, like I said, the good friends, our good friends over at Beats, Rhymes, and Lists, you're familiar with them, right?
Your burner account. Go ahead.
This man swears that this is my burner account. Here's the thing. I don't follow Beats, Rhymes, and Lists on social media, but I did become aware of their existence here recently. And there was something that they posted on social media, and it got me to looking at the website or whatever like that. And then I saw the thing that says the greatest rap verses of all time. So I was like, oh, let me click on this. And immediately I thought of my man over here, Eclectic, and I was like, we need to talk about this. So now here's the thing. If you've been following Eclectic and I, we will talk about lists. Hell, we'll create our own list. You've heard us do damn near 100 drafts on his podcast. But here's the thing. The thing we always talk about is that there should be some type of criteria for the listener or the reader to follow along to measure if you said something is great or the greatest of all time. There should be some type of criteria. If I say Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, I need to at least have some type of criteria as to how I came to that conclusion. If you say Magic Johnson is the greatest basketball player of all time, you need to have something to, some criteria to back it up, right? It can't just be about rings or commercials or shoe sales or, in this case, album sales. Nonetheless, when I looked at this list, I did what I normally do. I started at 20 because, again, his list or their list is the top 100. We said we would just do 50. So we're going to start at 50. But before we start at 50, I want you to understand that I started looking at the list. I started at 50. And then, before I even did that, I went to the write-up to see what the criteria was. And I'll read to you briefly the criteria. The write-up, because there doesn't appear to be any type of criteria. It says, welcome to the ultimate lyrical showdown where we pay homage to the verbal architects who have crafted some of the most iconic bars in hip-hop history. It says, in this feature, we count down the 100 greatest rap verses of all time, showcasing lyrical prowess and poetic storytelling that has defined the culture of hip-hop for the past 4 decades. From the golden era to modern day classics, this is an epic lineup, showcases the lyrical prowess, storytelling mastery, and unparalleled flow that have defined the genre. Explore the powerful imagery, in Nas's New York State of Mind and the commanding delivery of Notorious B.I.G. in Victory. And it goes blah, 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 more. And then it says, at the bottom, it says, so let's get into it. From Ice-T's iconic opening on 6 in the Morning to Lil Wayne's game-changing bars on We Taking Over, here are here are the 100 greatest rap verses of all time. So again, we're not going to start at 100 because really 100 is way too much. Before we even get started, E, what do you think about what I just said? Because
you said a whole bunch of nothing. So basically, this individual or team of individuals thought one day, "Oh, that's a really good verse. I wonder if that verse is better than that verse."
Mhm.
I say, I like a whole bunch of verses. Let me type all the verses that I like and put them in some kind of order and say that they're the greatest.
I concur. I think I don't know how much research was done in this. And normally, like when you see websites like Vibe Magazine or The Source or Double XL, they'll say, well, hey, this team of writers put this together. So you got, sometimes a panel of 5 to 10 people, and they come up with these lists. None of that, from what I can tell, is listed on this website. So to E's point, if this really were and truly my burner account, which it's not, if this were my burner account, then basically I would be giving you my personal top 100 verses of all time. But yeah, I agree with you, E. This is interesting to say the least. So we're going to start at 50. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give them to you, and I'm going to bounce, questions off E, because I'm going to, I don't necessarily know if he's heard some of these verses. If we're doing 50, I think he probably heard 35 of these verses.
Now, you got to understand, it depends on whose 50 it is. Mm-hmm. Well, since this is your burden because you're 50. Well, all right, we'll go. Let's go. We'll see.
All right, so start coming in at number 50.
Coming in. Listen to you.
Coming in at number 50. From Beats, Rhymes, and Lists, their website, the top, in this case, 50 rap verses of all time. Coming in at number 50, rapper Gunplay on Cartoon and Cereal, verse 3. And it has a picture here, and then they give a quote, which is and that's what they did on each one of these verses. They gave a quote of, part of the verse, and this part of the verse says, "Nobody can't mute me, but I never said nobody can't shoot me." Have you ever heard of? I've heard of Gunplay. Have you ever heard this verse before, E?
No, I've never heard the verse or the person or the song, and nobody can't is crazy. So I'm just going to assume that verse is super duper magical and better than a whole bunch of stuff. However, I'm not sure how it could be better than OC's verse on Time's Up, or Coogee Rap's verse in Man at Work, or Raekwon on Cream, or these are the things that it's straight out of Compton, verse 1.
We'll get to it, but I get your point.
But I am pleading ignorance on this one. So maybe it is better than all of those, and it is the 50th greatest verse
of all time
that I've somehow never heard.
Okay. For the record, I do know who Gunplay is, but I've never heard this verse before. Number 49, ASAP Rock on None Shall Pass, verse 1, where he says, "No score on a war-torn beach. Where's the cash cow actually beef? Blood turns wine when it leaked for police. Like that's not a riot. It's fast. It's feast. Let's eat."
It's lyrical miracle, this character.
I mean, Okay, so is ASAP Rock the same as ASAP Rocky?
I'm going to say absolutely not, sir.
Okay, wow.
It's not even spelled the same.
Oh, okay.
That's
Um,
that's
wow.
Aesop. That's
Aesop.
yeah,
Oh, there's an
yeah,
Aesop and an ASAP. Wow. I
yeah.
was today years old when I learned that.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I never heard. Have you ever heard this verse before?
No, absolutely not. Um, but I'm sure since it came in at
Mm-hmm.
49 that it's probably outstanding,
Oh,
and
it's slamming.
it's probably better than all that was there before it.
Okay. Okay. And I'm not going to read all these verses. You guys can listen to them because probably some of you who are listening to this episode probably have
And
have
and
purchased this.
let's be real. Our illustrious host here is not an MC. He doesn't have the cadence for these
Mm-mm.
types of
No, I
things.
don't. I
So
don't.
yeah, you have number 48 is RZA
Mm-hmm.
on the fourth chamber where he goes, hey, yo, camouflage chameleon, niggas killing your building, no time to grab the gun there, already got your wife and children. See, he wouldn't have said it like that.
Nah, I wouldn't
He
have.
would have said it really crazy.
I would have said, "Hey, yo."
But since I am a retired lyricist.
Right.
You know what the anyway, so this particular verse, I'm not even sure. See, here's the thing. After
Mm-hmm.
scanning
Mm-hmm.
this list, some of the nominees here aren't even the best verse on the song that
Right. Right. Right.
like and
Be- Go ahead. No, go ahead.
so like this particular song, it says a great I like this, and I don't really like a lot of RZA verses. I'm going to tell you,
Mm-hmm.
um, but this particular one is pretty damn strong. But yeah, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like Ghostface verse on this. The only man I hope wait for is the Sky Blue Belly Kid in '83. I
Yeah. I
don't
mean,
know.
come on, man. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a couple
Oh,
more
and
verses. Go
fucking
ahead. No, go ahead.
and Killer Priest is on there, Judge Wisely, as if nothing ever surprised me, lounging between two pillars of ivory. It's, uh, but this verse is cool.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's and it's really dope for RZA, but it's not the 48th best rap verse you've ever heard. Uh 47 coming in at 47. Lupe Fiasco on
Mhm.
Adoration of the Maggie, verse 3. Are you familiar with Brother Lupe?
Oh man, yeah, the kid's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's him. That's him. Um, I like Lupe. I've heard some of his joints. I think I bought his first album.
I
Didn't buy any
definitely
more
did.
after that.
Oh, I did not either.
But I definitely bought the first one. Um, I'm not familiar with this verse, but I guess I've heard better verse. I mean, when I think of Lupe Fiasco, I don't think of this verse.
Well, see, that's the
Um,
thing. Like, in my opinion,
mhm,
for 40 years worth of MCing,
mhm.
if you were going to be bold enough to try to compile the greatest verses, which who would do that
Beach rhymes and list does.
without any criteria? Now, if you would have said these are the top 50, top 100 verses of the Juice Crew,
Mhm.
or
Of Wu
or
Tang,
Wu Tang, or
of Def Jam.
guest verses in this time period,
Mhm.
or West Coast guest verses, and but 40 years of hip hop and you don't stop, and you're gonna do all of these. If they're truly the greatest, the populace, the majority of people should have heard at
Mhm.
least the song,
Right.
let alone the verse.
Yeah, and I never heard that song. So, um, man, listen, number 46. Oh my God. Lil Wayne, his verse 1 on the song A Millie. Click. React.
I have heard the song, I know the artist, and I've heard the verse.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not number 46.
Listen, I same here. I actually like this song. Um, and I think Lil Wayne is a really, really, really good rapper. I don't necessarily know that this verse belongs here at 46. It should be a lot higher. Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute, this should be higher.
Yeah. I mean, higher as in like 106, not 46.
You know,
Coming in at a strong 45. Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. That's right. KRS-One's first verse on MCs Act Like They Don't Know. What you got on this one, man?
this is number 45 on the list. And as a huge KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions fan, I can name 45 verses that he's made better than this one. So unless they are, again, we don't know the time frame or if they even heard of him before this song, or it's just that he had at least 20 verses on his first album that's better than this one. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I would agree.
I
And
mean,
KRS,
shouts out to them for including KRS-One, I guess.
yeah, I mean, hey,
he should be on here multiple times.
right?
So you know,
We'll see. Yeah. But no, I agree with you. And folks, just for clarity, Eclectic and I both have KRS-One in our top 5. As far as lyricists, so we would expect him to be on this list. I was very surprised to see this song and this verse this high. Coming in at number 44.
Go.
So you say, but
so he say too.
So, well, beats, rhymes, and lists don't say that, because coming in at number 44, Ladies Love Cool James with the third verse on Rampage, which is I know for a fact, a favorite song of yours. What did you think about this at number 44?
I'm going to give you guys a spoiler alert.
Go ahead.
Spoiler alert. Not only is this a really, really good verse, this verse is one of the better. Whoa.
Excuse me, my bad.
You should install a cough button.
I do. I thought I hit it.
Not only is this one of the more better verses for a feature, this is one of those kind of air quote iconic verses.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert. This is on an EPMD song.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, LL Cool J does not appear on this list on his own song.
Wow.
So that song, that I'm Bad song, with one of the more iconic verses that's ever been versed, doesn't exist. It's not on it. It's not on. Spoiler alert.
That's a spoiler. That's definitely a spoiler. It's early spoilers here, folks.
Yeah, it's not here. So I don't know, because I mean, again, maybe they didn't listen to LL Cool J before this album, so maybe they didn't know that song existed. Maybe they never heard Jack the Ripper. I don't know.
I have no words. I'm with you. LL Cool J is somebody I think very highly of, very skilled MC. One of the best to ever do it. And for this verse, like you said, on a song that isn't even his, it's a great feature, right?
And he
But
did have the best verse on the song.
yeah, no
At least
question.
they got that part right.
Yeah. I mean, they got that right, but yeah, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we talking about? 43. Pimp C, verse 3 on Big Pimpin'. Now, E, you mentioned a little earlier about my lack of rapping ability. I think I know this verse. He said, I would still be riding Mercedes coming down and sipping daily. No record till they pay me. I think I messed that up. I was
Yeah,
close.
yeah. I mean, listen, again, illustrious host, just host. This is a I,
Rest in peace, Chad Butler.
so maybe see, I was trying to give them some, I was trying to help them out and say, well, maybe we were going for the most popular verses, but that's not true because of the other stuff. You know, you didn't even know who Aesop Rock was, so
Yeah,
like,
I didn't.
it
I
can't
thought
be
it was right.
popular.
I thought it was Rihanna's baby daddy.
It can't be popular in this. It can't be. It can't be that made a lot of money because Rampage didn't make a lot of
Nope.
money
Neither did
compared.
KRS One.
Yeah, compared to Big Pimpin'. So I don't.
And I'm wondering, I would love to know from the people from our good friends at Beats, Rhymes, and Lists, if you have a verse like Big Pimpin' and Pimp C's verse makes your list, but Jay-Z and Bun B's verse doesn't make your list, are you saying that that's the best verse on the song?
That is clearly what they're saying.
Wow. That is disappointing. Number 42, Metal Face Doom, rest in peace, on Meat Grinder, verse 1. Um, of course I know who Metal Face Doom is. Shout out to MF Doom. But I don't know this song. Do you?
Yeah, yeah, I do. Now,
Okay.
Meat Grinder is on Mad Villainy.
Okay. Okay.
Come out in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which this is a good song, but not the best verse he's done because I don't believe he's on the list again. And so,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm doing inferences, when I'm
Mm-hmm.
not given a criteria reading list, if there's a list of the greatest or the best of something, and a person or entity only enters the list once,
Mm-hmm.
what that says to me as the reader
I know where you're
is
going.
that is the best days they got. That is the best days that they've
Best
ever done.
ever. Wow. And there's no way that you can say MF Doom, this is the best verse he's ever put out.
Yeah. So if you did a whole list of the greatest shots, basketball shots of all
Mm-hmm.
time, and you put when Jordan beat the Cavs and shot the shot almost at the free throw line,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the only Jordan shot on there.
That's the greatest shot he ever made.
To me, that says for that individual, that is the greatest shot he's ever made.
Oh my God.
Your mileage may vary.
Right. Um, number 41, the notorious B.I.G. Flavor in Your Ear remix, verse 1, where he says, don't be mad, my style you're admiring. Don't be mad, UPS is hiring.
Again, you tried, you didn't. This is not
I
you.
think I'm killing it.
You are 0 for 3. This is I will take it back. I believe MF Doom is on the list one more time,
Okay.
but that says to me that that verse is his second greatest verse
Yeah,
of all
and
time,
it's not.
and I don't think that it is. Now, as far as this flavoring your ear remix verse, I I don't. I mean, we know what the best verse
I
in that
mean,
song
no, we
is.
don't know. No, we don't know.
I mean,
It's not blotitious.
it's Ishi.
It's not
So
that either.
look, but it's the only thing you got right so far as the first. So I'm going to tell you something. Spoiler alert.
Another one.
According to this list, I do believe that because I believe I think Biggie's Victory is somewhere on this list.
It is. I do remember seeing it.
Yeah, I think they mentioned it in the write-up. But according to this list, Biggie's Victory is his greatest verse. and of all he only has 2 albums.
Right.
And this is the Flavor of Year remix. Biggie does not have a great verse on either one of his
albums. And some consider him to be the greatest of all time. But I guess maybe not our good friends at Beats, Rhymes, and Lists.
Not at all.
And before we move on, let me add some context to this.
I thought she was about to give a word to a sponsor. Thought Manscaped got you or something.
No. I want to, just pull the curtain back a little bit. E got this list literally 40 minutes before we started recording. So yeah. I've been able to sit with this list and look at it. He literally got it right before we got on the air, and I don't know how much he looked at it. So this is just what we do. Coming in at number 40, Method Man, Shadow Boxing verse 3. Great verse.
But the first verse is the best one.
It really is.
It breaks it down to the bone gristle. Ills Biggest gun missile, heat seeking, Johnny blazing, nightmares like Wes Craven, niggas gunning, my third eye seen it coming before it happened.
Come on, man.
But you don't like it, dick up in you, fuck you. Come on, man. But also, not the 40th greatest verse ever.
No, not even close.
It's not Method Man's best verse.
No, not even remotely close.
And I don't think Method Man is back on this list. So this is the greatest Method Man verse of all time. And it's not on his album.
Shout out to Cal. Oh wow, this is crazy. Number 39. Rest in peace. Big L on 98 Freestyle, verse 1. Now, I'm very familiar with 98 Freestyle. It is a very, very dope freestyle. I want to say it was this the one from?
I thought you were going to say, what year was it?
I think I know what year it was.
Okay.
I want to say this was on Stretch and Bobbito's radio show. Great verse. I can't put it at 39. What about you?
No, listen. If they said that this is the top 50 verses or top 100 verses of 1998, we are putting something from Big L on 98 verses. Sure, if you put it on there, exactly. I'm rolling.
Right,
but Big L does not have a top 100 of all time verse.
Nah, off the top, even the freestyle joint with Jay-Z. I'm not. Ebonics, no. I mean, no, you're right. I could think of 100 better. And it's no knock. It's just that's what it is.
Listen, it's not, people get up in arms when you say something's not the best or top 100. 40 years of rap.
Yeah.
Top 5,000 is saying something.
Exactly. And here's the thing, to your point, there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you say, well, hey, my favorite rapper, let's just for shits and giggles, let's say my favorite rapper is Ludacris. And you say, well, hey, I've got Ludacris at number 30. Do you know how many rappers there are in this world or that has been in the hip hop is turning 50 this year. Yeah. If you're number 30 of 5,000 rappers, that's pretty damn good. Everybody can't be number one.
And it's way more than 5,000 rappers.
Right.
So yeah,
Exactly.
you know, like the worst player and whatever metric you come up with to say the worst player is in the NBA is still one of the greatest basketball players
Facts.
in the world.
Exactly. And he'll give you 50
Right.
at
So,
your gym.
yeah. So whatever you look at your bum, he is way better than you and your entire family.
Exactly. Number 38, rest in peace, Guru on Moment of Truth, verse 3. Uh love this song, love this verse. It's not. It's no, it's I've heard Guru spit better verses, and I don't without looking at it, I don't think Guru appears anymore on this list.
So this is the greatest verse.
I guess. What say you?
And I like the hook.
Number 37, Antonio Hardy, aka Big Daddy Kane. First one, ain't no half stepping. What you got on that?
Now this might be as close as they're gonna get to something that's kind of in the realms of where it could be. 37, because this is a very good verse. It has iconic lines. These rappers stepping to me. They want to get some. And the BIG, the DAWDYKANE. So I mean, 37, maybe not, but I wouldn't argue someone saying it was in the top 50 or 100. I wouldn't argue this one
Right.
that hard.
No, I agree. I think this one, this is like the first one where I can honestly say like it may be placed in the right vicinity.
Oh yeah. So I don't think we went from 50 to what number is this one?
This is 37.
So we went from 50 to 37. This is the only verse so far that I think belongs that could belong in the top 100.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, you didn't even say top 50. You said top 100.
Yeah.
So no, I'm with you. I'm rolling on that. No, it's this is Kane, and I mean Kane. It's not his greatest verse, but it is a very memorable verse, and always will be in hip hop. On a memorable song in hip hop. But yeah, I could make a case for it being in the top 50. I could make a case for this being in the top 100. I can't say that about any other song we've already talked about,
including the next one.
Number 36, Corrupt, verse 1 on the Dr. Dre album, and the song is entitled Stranded on Death Row. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. This song is on the Chronic, and it is I'm not even gonna say that. It's not even the best verse on the song. You know who had the best verse on that song?
I'm just gonna guess.
Let it be known.
Okay then. I already know that you're wrong.
Yeah, man. Snoop had the best verse. I don't know how Corrupt gets 30. And I'm gonna without looking at the rest of the list, I'm willing to bet that Corrupt doesn't appear on any other song on here.
Quick, name 3 Corrupt songs.
Corrupt by himself or Dog Pound?
Thank you. Go ahead.
Smooth. Number 35, Big Pun, Twins, Deep Cover 98, verse 1. What you got on Big Pun?
This is a really good verse. I'm not even gonna bother asking you to try to do it because Jesus.
You mean diddly?
Dead in the middle, a little that we know that we middle the middle didn't do diddly. But
yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, so this is not even. Here's the thing about Pun, and I've said this multiple times. I never said it to you because you're weird. But
watch yourself.
Big Pun is the only MC that I'm aware of
Mhm.
who's been the best rapper on every song he's been on except for one.
Wow.
Anytime he's on a song with anybody else, he's had the best verse. He's been on John Blaze that had Nas on it. He got a song called Super Lyrical with Black Thought.
Mhm.
Every
Wait.
song
You think he's been better than Black Thought on Super Lyrical?
on Super Lyrical, he was better than Black Thought.
I disagree.
You should go back and listen to the
Oh,
song.
we'll listen. We will.
The only song he did not have the best verse on, and it was close, is Banned from TV.
Mm. I've heard people say he had the best verse on Band for
And
TV.
that's what I said. It's close. Every song he's been on, he had a verse on. He's had the best verse. And this is not one of his best verses.
No.
I mean, it's
Not
one of his best verses, but it's low on the top list.
Yeah. It's
So
probably it's in Pun's discography. Top 20 maybe.
I'll tell you what it is better than.
What is it better than?
Number 34.
Oh, hell no. Number 34, verse 1, my man Common, I used to love her. I met this girl when I was 10 years old. And what I love most, she had so much soul.
And you know why you were able to actually execute that one?
Because
It was elementary. It is. Listen, but this is not about the song. It is about the verse, and that verse isn't dope. It's just a good concept.
Yeah, it's an ode to hip hop. It's this
Right,
love for
but
hip hop.
no one ever said, "Yo, that verse though." They like the song. They like the
Right.
concept.
Oh,
They
no
like what
doubt,
it's
no doubt.
about.
I'll
And
give you
so-
that.
And
I'll
so,
give you that.
since this is a verse list, there's no way that this even belongs on here.
I will give you that. People love the song, and it's
This is a top 5 concept song of all time.
But the verse, correct.
No.
I got you. Number 34, Black Thought on the Funk Master Flex freestyle, verse 1. This is the freestyle that Black Thought did on Funk Master Flex show that hit the internet a couple of years ago, and everybody went crazy. Like they had never heard Black Thought body a track, but he killed it. I think it was the Burn beat. That's what he did it on. What do you think about this one?
Doesn't belong on the list. It belongs on the top freestyle list. But if we're talking about verses, one, is it really even a verse? But it's a freestyle. It's no. That's just like when these fuck face for cock the list put people's mixtapes on greatest album lists.
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't. No, you don't put that on. If that's the case, then you got to put the fucking Clue Cannabis verse on here. And when I say that, we all know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, of course. So if you were outside, now there's some people that just flew over their heads.
So if that's the case, that has to be on here, and it's not because that's not it. We don't know.
Okay. Number 32, Most Def. Excuse me, the mighty Most Def on Mathematics, verse 1. I like this. I love this song. I like the verse. It's not a top 100 verse. I'm sorry. And it's damn sure not 32. Have you heard this before?
Yeah. Most Def does not have a top 100 verse in his catalog.
That might be correct.
I mean, there's no slight on them.
There's no slight. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. I mean, off the top of my head, no, I can't think of one. And I think you should be able to think of one. And that's I'm not sure how our good friends at Beats Rhymes and Liz came up with that or decided to put the Mighty Most at 32. Now,
He's not even in my 100 top rappers.
I
So
can't find a spot for the Mighty Most in the top 75.
not in mine. I mean, listen, it depends on the criteria.
Yeah. You're right.
If
You're
you're
right.
talking favorites
If you,
that I listen to,
mhm.
no, he's not there.
Well, what about lyricists?
If he is, he's in the 90s.
Coming in at number 31, Nas, The Message, first verse.
This generation's GOAT.
He said this generation.
Everyone's crowning him the greatest rapper of all time. Now
I mean,
the people that you know,
I
it
mean,
depends on your criteria.
yeah, man. I mean, he's you know what I keep hearing on Twitter, the 4-album run. This last 4-album run, E.
And listen, and what they say has some validity to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally don't like any of those 4 albums. But
How dare you?
I recognize that a lot of people do. The
I
majority
love
of the
him.
people, okay, you love every
No, I
anyway.
don't.
You do. But since that is a popular opinion, it's like shit. It's like I don't watch fucking Harry Potter, or Lord of the Rings, but I know they do numbers, so it's like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna shit on them. I'm just like that's not for me. But if everybody loves them and they get all this acclaim, then when someone says what are some of the best French movie franchises, I'm gonna name both of them because it's what it is.
Right. Fake thug, no love. You get the slug CB4 gusto. Your luck lower. Man, come on, man.
Exactly. No, you still messed it up.
So yeah, I'm this is definitely a top 50 verse. I got no problem with it being I got no problem with it at 31. I really don't.
I do.
Number 30.
That shouldn't be 31 because that's not better than fucking any of the verses on New York State of Mind. It's not better than any of the verses on Ain't Hard to Tell. And so that's like 6 verses right there. No, it's not. No, stop it.
So number 30, my man Ice Cube, verse 1 from A Bird in the Hand. What you got on this?
Of all the songs he's ever made, this is what you pick.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
Of all the songs that he's done,
of all the songs from this album,
you pick A Bird.
Death Certificate is a smoker. Yeah, I can't co-sign this one. No. It's dope. I love it. I love Ice Cube, one of my favorites of all time. But nah.
Now Cube has a top 100 verse in his catalog.
Of course. Of course. Now, when I saw this next one at number coming in strong at number 29, it brought a smile to my face, man. Not necessarily because of where it was placed, but because I know that my boy is a fan of this song. Number 29, Redman's first verse, Tonight's the Night. What say you?
My favorite Redman song and maybe my favorite Redman verse. Mm-hmm. And this is not a top 100 verse. If it is, it's in the 90s.
Okay.
You have to think of every person that ever said a rhyme ever. And I prefaced it. Favorite song, probably my favorite verse, but I don't know if it's.
This is hard to do.
It could be top 100. All right, I will say that it's top 100, but it's 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I could make room for it in the top 100. So this is relatively high. Oh, excuse me, relatively low on the list. It shouldn't be this. It shouldn't be in the 20s. Damn. I mean, he's got so many other verses, man. I'll put it like this. If you ask me like my favorite Redman verse, I could tell you my favorite Redman songs, but even this, and I love Tonight's the Night. It's just not. It might be like my 6th or 7th song, but even the verse is not like it doesn't like blow me away. Speaking of not being blown away, number 28, LP on The Last Huzzah remix, verse 5. Are you familiar with LP?
I'm familiar with LP, and that's where it ends.
Oh, wow. So you never heard the song before.
Never heard the
And
song, never heard the verse. No.
it is the 28th best rap verse of all time, according to our good friends at Beats, Rhymes, and Lists.
So all that means, all that says to me is clearly I've been slipping.
Yeah.
I've been asleep at the wheel. I should have heard this song. I should have been able to at least give you a couple of lines from this incredible verse.
This is correct.
That was also sarcasm.
Of course. And coming in,
I just saw what was 26.
coming in at number 27.
Oh my God.
Let it be known, Snoop Deal Double G, nothing but a G thing, verse 1. Cause ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. You ain't gonna finish the rest of the E?
No.
Two loped out niggas, so we crazy.
That you also got that wrong. You get everything wrong. You are really the old. Skylar probably just be in the car like, yo.
Skylar loves when daddy raps. All right, so here's the thing, folks. If you know my friend over here, he's not a fan of Snoop Dogg.
I fucking hate Snoop Dogg. He's the fucking worst. He's the worst popular rapper. He's the most popular rapper of all time, but he is the fucking worst. He sucks. It's nothing about him that is dope. He didn't write this shit, so why is it even fucking attributed to him? Because he's fuck. All right, so listen.
Hey, save that clip. That's a clip for the show.
This is like the fucking. I used to love it. That verse isn't fucking crazy.
It's not.
What are we doing?
It is a very popular hip hop song.
Yeah, it's the song. It's the song. It's the time that it came out when everybody thought they was fucking gangsters, including him. The all of a sudden gangster. Shut the get.
Man, you got me over here choking up. Okay, let's move on. I love the Snoop Dogg rants.
His name is fucking Calvin.
Calvin Brodus Jr. Get it right.
All right, man. Go ahead.
Number 26. You and I just did a podcast on. Nicki Minaj's verse on Monster. It was verse 4. We talked about it, but here's your chance to talk a little more. Is this the
that verse blows? That is not a good verse. It's the fucking theatrics and whatever the fuck that she's doing while she's rhyming. It's not like she said something like, oh shit. Listen, there are verses from her that are way better than this. And it is disgusting that from 50 to 26, this is the only woman that's been shown up.
Oh, wow. I didn't even peep that.
And it's this. But, you know, what do I know, man? I'm old. Go ahead, man.
That's crazy.
I'm going to let you handle this 25 because
oh, man, 25.
I'm going to tell you before you. I said, I see this 25. I'm like, really? And then I read what it said. And I was like, yo, that's not good. but go ahead.
Come on, man. I'm not even going to. I was about to rap it. I ain't going to rap it because you'll mess me up. Coming in at number 25, Andre 3000, verse 4 on Aquemini. All right. Let me be honest. Let me be clear on this. Let me let it be known. This is not a top 100 verse. This is not Andre 3000's best verse. This verse has no place on this list. It doesn't. And I say that as a huge fan of Andre Benjamin, Andre 3000, aka Three Stacks. No, I don't know how you put this song on this list. It doesn't belong here. It's out of place. And I'm not sure how or why they picked this song because it doesn't belong here. It just doesn't. And I think because it's at 25, whoever came up with this list was like, hey, we're 25 in. I don't have Andre 3000. Let me just pull a verse from Andre 3000. Let me pull my favorite verse from him out of the sky.
It has to be their favorite. Because listen, you are a huge fan. I am whatever the opposite of that is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, shit, at least put fucking International Players Anthem on here.
Right. See, look at you. Exactly. No, I'm with you. I don't know that. I'm assuming that our good friends at Beast Rhymes and List, maybe that's their favorite 3 Sack song. I don't know. Coming in at number 24, Tupac, Hail Mary, verse 1. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. I'm killing me.
You're killing a whole bunch more.
What you got on this one, man?
There's not a top. People like the fucking chorus of this song, and they like the beat, and they only know the first 2 sentences of this verse. No one knows the rest of this fucking verse.
Nobody knows verse 2. Nobody.
Nobody knows the rest of the first verse. After wise words being quoted, people are done.
I think you're right. Oh man. Number 23. I'm interested to hear what you say about this one. Busta Rhymes, Scenario, verse 5. What you got?
This is the same as LL Cool J on Rampage. If we were talking features and posse cuts, best, then versus sure. But no, absolutely not. Listen, if that's the case, you can. One, it's in the top 100, which it shouldn't. But 2, it is number 23. A fucking verse, 23, the greatest verse ever that has chickadee choco, the chocolate chicken in it. Get the fuck out of here.